distant shores that stand up on the prow. Noble the bark I steer, steady course to the haven. Human fool, my mother told me someday I would buy galleys with gold oars, sail to distant shores that stand up on the prow. Noble the bark I steer, steady course to the haven. Many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy galleys with gold oars, sail to distant shores that stand up on the prow. Noble the bark I steer, steady course to the haven. Many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy galleys with gold oars, sail to distant shores that stand up on the prow. Noble the bark I steer, steady course to the haven. Many foemen. Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, brave and soar over new frontiers. Songs and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears. Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder, pulled together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound with him. The echoes of eternity. The holla calling me to pluck the strings of destiny. The holla calling me. The holla calling me. Sails are swaying on the crimson rivers, blood and glory in the fighting fields. Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel. Fires are rising and the bells are ringing. Glory, take us into Odin's halls. Golden glimmer and the sound of singing as cars call. The echoes of eternity. Allah calling me to pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me. Wind and the waves will carry me. Wind and the waves will set me free. Wind and the waves will carry me. Wind and the waves will set me free. The echoes of eternity. The holla calling me. is our destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me. The sky grows dark, decay underneath, the ravens in the sky, and kings shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok, finger up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality, fight for the right, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war.
Well, I would say I would probably give them a talk about how the world would treat them, and that, you know, of course, remind them that I love them and that I'm okay with their decision. But my sister is actually a lesbian, but, you know, I'd really just have a talk with them about their life in the world and what it's going to be like, and being black and gay in America, and how it's going to be even harder, but how they're going to have to be stronger and fight harder. But you're going to be able to do it, because as long as you're confident in yourself and you're happy with yourself, everything's going to be okay.
Oh, I love my daughter. I love all my children. I love them all equally. I treat them all the same. They're part of me, and they know the happiest thing for me is when they're all together and when we're all sitting down, socializing, laughing, joking, talking. And their life is their life, and they are part of my life always.
And based on the fact it was just Gay Pride Week and everything else, I saw hundreds, if not, well, hundreds, probably not thousands, of women and men, dads and mothers, proud gay father of a gay smartass. I mean, every kind of shirt you ever saw about how they didn't give a shit. I take it's my son. So based on the evidence, if it was my son, I'd do whatever the hell we wanted, because that's what obviously happens when you have a child. You care the shit about him more than you do yourself.
Just keep on being you. Like, yeah, that's great. And I guess, well, the challenge with that comes in, like, knowing that the world they live in might not respond to them in the same way that I would. But, like, I think we're really lucky the day and age that we're in now, that it's much less of a concern. So, yeah, just like being a supportive parent is totally encompasses that.
my response would be, first, thank you so much for trusting me. Second, I would say, and is that all? If you're gay and lesbian, it does not matter to me at all. Like, it has no effect on my love for you. As a parent, I unconditionally love you, I care for you, and I really hope whoever you bring home to meet me is amazing. And me and both of us is amazing. And I hope that you continue to live your life courageously, because you're going to need a lot of that, especially in today's day and age where a lot of people have prejudiced views. So I hope you have a lot of courage, and that I hope that you don't give up your sexuality, and I hope you continue standing up for who you are.
I would be proud of them. I would tell them to accept who they are, and if they have any questions that, you know, maybe we could talk about it and get information. I mean, I'm not going to shy away or shun my child for opening up themselves in a more sexual based or, you know, a mental aspect of how they view people. That's something that's beautiful, and I think that's a part of evolution, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'd be ecstatic. If they were, obviously it has to be qualified. If they were convinced and committed and happy and saw that as the way they wanted to lead their life, I'd obviously be very supportive of it.
I'm very deep in my Christian faith, but I mean, I can't really control that. It's something that you're really born with, so I would accept him touch her.
I'm proud of who you are, and thank you for trusting me with that information.
That's awesome. Good for you. Like, cool, great. That if it were my kid, and then I'd be like, okay, I want to like go get some ice cream or something. I'd be like, it's a normal day. It's like whatever.
I mean, I would totally support them. It's their body, it's their life. I don't care what they want to do with it. They have rights. So I would just help them find resources so they can better settle in the society. So yeah, that's all I can do, being a parent.
Yeah, I think just telling them I was proud of them for being able to talk to me, and making sure that they felt safe in the communities that they were in, like in school, making sure no one was messing with them, and just knowing that I would be there. Love to meet the people that they date, and yeah.
I would totally be fine. Like, first I would like to know like if they know what that means. First I would like to know like if they totally know what they mean by saying that. If just a psychological state, then I would just try to talk to them. But if they really know what they're talking about and they are in the situation like that, then I'm totally fine with that. It doesn't really matter to me.
I'd like to think that I'd be open and accepting. I believe it's not the situation that you are given, it's how you deal with it that matters. So I'd hope that I would be accepting and understanding. I'm sure I would be.
At first, I would be shocked, I think, but then I would accept it because, I mean, like, you can do whatever.
With statements like that, you're basically calling the entire gay pride the pre-cum of Satan, fucking the world up, that they are the manifestation of Satan's evil influence on the world. Even if you believe that, spreading the word of God by alienating a group of people just isn't the right way to do it. And I don't mean just the LGBT community, I mean any group of people who are sinners in God's eye. You don't try to convert an ex-convict by saying, "Alright, you scornful maggot, you are a manifestation of Satan, you piece of shit. Your existence is an insult and a public display of contempt for God." Come join City Revival Church. You'll probably get stabbed for saying that. You do it by showing love and care, and hopefully through your goodwill, the light of Jesus will shine through to him. So I really don't see why they had to put the whole segment on condemning the gay pride into that video. If anything, it just sheds a bad light on Christianity and just pushes people away from the religion. Because no matter how pitiful you look in the video or how many times you smile and nod, it doesn't negate the fact that what you're saying is insensitive and incites hate. This simply isn't the way to go about evangelism, at least not to me. They also went on to talk about abortion, which I'm not really gonna dive deep into, but the gist was that Satan was behind it because he wants to kill as many people as possible. And the final example that they gave of Satan's influence on the world was suicide, which they briefly talked for about 10 seconds.
Suicide. Have you wondered why 13 Reasons Why glorifies suicide?
Make your summer.
I
think I always played with things typically girly, whatever that means. And I used to steal my mom's old dance recital costumes. I would whirl and twirl down the hallways. When I found that the word transgender, it was like this light bulb moment for me. Because I didn't really know that there were people out there just like me, thriving and being themselves. It made me feel affirmed, and it made me feel not alone, which is really important. My dad is a Lutheran pastor, so religion has been a big part of my life. When I transitioned, my parents, my dad, they were really supportive of me, as I said, but I think it was another part to tell that to the congregation, to my community at church. We did a lot of educating, we did a lot of talking to the people there, and I think when we gave them the right resources to learn, to understand that like this isn't like a bad thing, it was powerful to see this sort of change and to see how they could understand. Because of my family's unconditional love, I could thrive, I could try new things, I could be a happy kid, and I could love who I am. I transitioned before I started field hockey. I sort of went into field hockey as Rebecca, but obviously people started to find out, and I told some of my friends because, I mean, it's part of me, I want to share it, I want them to know. So when I told them, they were so supportive, and especially on the field, we were just teammates, we were players, and we all were working to a common goal, and we wanted to have fun together. The conversation right now around sports, it's huge. And I've heard a lot about it. I know my teammates have, but it hasn't really affected our relationship with one another. A lot of this conversation is about like trans players being like these scary opponents, but we're not. We just want to play. We want to have fun with our team, and especially trans kids. We just want to join because it's part of our school. Like it's being a part of our school community is something that everyone else gets to do, so why can't we do it? I got into advocacy when the federal administration rescinded the guidance for trans students in schools. And I think that was the first time that I was ever like, exposed to that idea that a parent or a community wouldn't support someone for being themselves. And that didn't make sense to me, like why? And a lot of like, what I want to do is to break down these boxes that everyone's put in, because we don't want to be put in boxes. Obviously, we want to be a part of a community, but that doesn't mean we're all the same, because frankly, that would be boring.
Suicide. Have you wondered why 13 Reasons Why glorifies suicide? Again, because Satan is out to steal, kill, and destroy lives that matter to God.
This reminds me of the video of the woman who tried to explain how Satan was behind the Monster Energy drink.
Look at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew.
I like how the first thing she thought about when looking at the logo was to go into Hebrew, like any other human would. What, you don't watch Netflix with Hebrew translations? Outrageous, you dirty son of the devil.
The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can. What do you see in the O? There's a cross. Okay. You cannot deny that that is a cross. And what is witchcraft? When the cross goes upside down, bottoms up, and the devil laughs.
Holy fuck. What? What? Guess she's a Red Bull fan, but god damn, she must be popular in school. I mean, come on, look at her presentation skills. Who wouldn't want to be on her team? She could probably convince your girlfriend to try anal with your neighbor. But anyway, back to City Revival. Like,
I won't destroy this, and I definitely won't destroy this. I will keep it just in case if I, decide to become a Christian, because I will be talking to a Christian soon about how I feel, and she will help me. And with this notebook, I usually don't want the pages, Bible, I don't want the pages to be ruined or anyway. And honestly, it's a very beautiful Bible, I will not lie. And who knows, I might read it just for the joy, and take notes with it. But yeah, just thought I would share that with you. And yeah, so here is my binder, Book of Shadows, and it's from May 31st, 2022, and it's gonna be finished on whatever date it's finished on. So here I just have some sticky notes. Here's all of the ones I'm supposed to be learning about. There's this thing called Satanist, paganism, or something like that. So here's the table of contents. So then there's the basic knowledge that I'm supposed to learn. So first the types of magic, types of spells, types of divination, talisman and sigils, seals, symbols can be found, mythology, deities, spirits, closed and open religions, lucid dreaming. And by the way, if I were you, if you're gonna get into like paganism, I would definitely look at this first. Elements, grounding, herbs, crystals, altar, moon, and energy. Basically look at all of this, but first look at this, and also look up at like protection stuff. So here's all the paper that I could use, which is behind here. As you can see, there's a lot of paper. Before I used this as a like Christian type of notebook, and I'm just gonna take these out so it's much easier for me to have you guys see this, because it's been like that and it keeps like falling out or something like that. So this is a different type of, there's paganism, Wicca, and witchcraft. That is also very important. Then you have your closed and open religions. I will post a picture if you guys want me to. Like, you know, these ones I can do, which is native practices, which is indigenous, smudging, dream catchers, and then here are the open traditions. There's Luciferianism, paganism, and then there's Satanist kind of paganism. The ones that I'm mainly looking into are the Celtic, the Norse. I don't think I'm gonna do traditional, because I don't know if there is. I think there is a Texas type of, which I might actually look that up. So I'm gonna take a picture of this so I can learn about all of these types of things. We have my beliefs. So the first thing, do you believe in God and one goddess? Yes. Do you believe we still, or do you think we'll be punished or rewarded? No. Do you believe that large, lavish celebrations should be in your life? Of course. I said duh. Strong connection to the earth. Yes, we should have a strong connection to, you know. Believe in mythical creatures. Yes, I do believe in mythical creatures. Do you believe that there are hard work and studying are essential? Yes. Magic cannot hurt you, and if you if you don't believe it, it won't like hurt you. So basically, say for example, if you don't believe in demons, it can't hurt you. It's the same thing. Magic can hurt. Oh, sorry about that. No sacrifice of eye stuff. No blood. I don't know what that means. Astrology? No, I do not believe that. So where is my marker? I have to cross that out. I do not believe in that. So no. Earth provides willingly. Yes. Ancestors will guide you. Yes. I might redo this. So I'm gonna rip this out. I see this is an example that your beliefs will always change, or you will develop more. So here's what we learned from earlier. It's the same thing as you see in the picture. Here is paganism. Then I look it up, which I'm gonna write on the back of this maybe. I also write like stuff like that. So we got Celtic, right? Norse, German, Slavic, eclectic. Also, eclectic is very easy. It's just basically being, say you want to believe or you want to follow different pantheons. So you want to be a, someone who practices both Norse and Celtic and Egyptian, or even Greek. You can do all both. Here we have is paganism right for me. So for example, not all witches are pagan. Paganism is an umbrella term for many religions that not all pagans are witches. You can be, eclectic or follow certain pantheons. Here we have gods and goddesses, mono or poly. Basically, you can follow one god, follow many gods, follow a variety of different gods. You can believe in two, one being, Mother Earth, or symbolizing stuff, such as, the forest being a god. It's like an atheistic kind of way. I believe in either one god or many gods being flawed, and that's basically very rote. God's created us to have evolution, and I believe souls, we choose our path. So basically, if you're a Christian, you go to heaven. If you're, wherever you want to go, you go. Drawing Down to the Moon book, I think, was a thing that's supposed to choose types of differences between. So again, I wrote it down. Why paganism over Christianity? This is something that I wrote, Celtic, and then it gets into the practices of what Celtic is, the traditions behind it, and it talks about certain gods such as Morrigan. Then it talks more about, paganism. Jeez. Then we have more, and then of course soon we get into, if I can find the page, nope, I can't. So we have, trying to get to it as soon as I can. This is my drawing of the Norse mythology tree. I haven't colored it yet. So this is Norse, and of course I ripped it right there. But the next thing I'm talking about is a lot more. So yeah. So looking back on the video, I realized I forgot to mention this, which is also very beautiful. It's made by Mr. Penn. I'm trying to figure out what to say about it. While I don't necessarily agree with the religion, I really find it very beautiful how someone like Mr. Penn, who does basically stationery supplies, could make something like this. So here's how it works. I'm just going to use a really big page. And I might do this too, just to learn more scripture. So we see here, this is the Sunday sermon note. You write your sermon. And as you can see, it mentions something about the Lord or whatever. So here it says, let us go into the house of the Lord. And then here it has your weekly goals. So you can write down your weekly goals. Here it brings up scripture. So for example, let's say if I was still a Christian, I would read this number, and then I would take my Bible, right, and I would just flip to the page, and then let's say this is the page. I would flip to the page and I would read the entire chapter, And this one starts from here and it goes to like that, and it's not even repeated, but I find that kind of cool. And then after that, you know, you write, read the passage slowly several times. What was not to you? So now for me, I don't really do this, unless if it's just this. What I do is I take my Bible, I open it, I read the entire passage, and then I answer what I feel like it's saying to me, or what's most important to me, based on the question. What about challenges comforts you? So with me, if we're talking about Leviticus 18:22, the whole point of it being about homosexuality is kind of, it's a challenge for me, I guess you could say. Or what comforts me is that God's always there for me, no matter what, regardless of what God you believe or not. How does it apply to your life today? So that I can write how this applies to my life. I have my to-do. You also have your read Bible. Today I am most thankful for, which I would recommend just having that in general. Be thankful for things regardless of what it is. You have a notes page, and it does this as you see. There's Matthew, Psalm, Galatians, 2 Corinthians. I'm not sure how to say that. I think it's like Amos. But then they have this, and I might use this for something else. I could, you know, read the passage and use it to see how it, why I don't agree with it, why it's completely different from my beliefs or whatever. But as you can tell, I haven't used it in a while. And if we were to count the days, let's see what today is. Today is, so I'm gonna use my calendar here, later it's all tonight. We're gonna go on a calendar. Today is the 19th, which I'm surprised actually. So if I were to go to, last month, for example, which is kind of confusing with this especially, there's the 30th, and then we have the 31st, so then we have to count to 19. So let me do that right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16th, 17th, which was my graduation day, so I'm gonna say graduated. Now, I'm not sure if I spelled that right. I don't care. And then, just because I'm like bored all the time, I'm just gonna say, like right here, join graduation, and then here I'm gonna say like 6 o'clock or 6:30 p.m. join 15 minutes before, join 15 min before, and then this should be the 18th and then the 19th, which is correct because today is Sunday, as you guys can see. So that means I'm gonna go back later on, maybe even now, without the camera on, and or maybe with the camera on. Actually, I'm gonna do it with the camera on. So let's say we go back to, you know, our date. Let's go back to the 31st, right? Or sorry, the 1st. So I can put June 2022, and then that day would be a Wednesday. So I'm gonna circle Wednesday, and then from there on, I'm just gonna write June, if I can, without making a weird mess of it. That would be Thursday, that would be Friday, and yeah, I just do this every time for the month, if I'm going to be doing it. Now, if you want to, you can write it very nicely. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. And the fun thing that I like about this is, for some reason, they end it like that. And this is probably my favorite part of the week. What the F? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. We got June 5th, 2022. And I can pretty much put anything here. So basically, if I'm going to use this to debunk religion, I can also, where is it? I can also use my Bible to debunk, basically, although I might use my other one. I'm not sure yet. June, but I don't know how to explain how my beliefs work. Like, some days I could see there a God existing, other days I'm basically really confused about it. And, yeah. So, I hope when I do talk to that Christian though, she is very nice, because, I talked to a Christian earlier and it actually brought me to tears. And I just couldn't stop thinking about it, so I decided to make that poem that you guys are watching right now. And honestly, I think that Christians are nice, but sometimes they can be extremely mean without even realizing, because they think what they're doing is helping me in some way, when in reality, it's just killing me. Like, you can have your beliefs on homosexuality. I don't care what you believe in. But please do not say it's like a thing that must be followed to be saved or whatever, because one, why would God, you know, God knows how we feel. God sees everything, right? So if he was wanting us to not be a part of that, why didn't he change it? Because he's all powerful, right? So I feel like God could change anything, and if science can prove that my mind is closer to a straight male's, or if it can prove that trans people actually have a brain that's, you know, closer to what they identify as. So for example, let's say you're born a male, right? And when you're born a male, you feel more like a female. That's basically what it is like. Oh, that's a Saturday. See, I even make mistakes too, guys. But that's what I would do. And I'm gonna write something here like, you are valid, LGBT folk. I'm gonna write here, you are valid. I don't know if I spelled that right, but I really don't care. LGBT and I'm just on some racist. So that is basically what I do, and like I said, I might use this now because I'm really tempted to, and yeah, So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and yeah.